Resources Board.
Rich Ryan, San Diego State Calexico.
Luis Romero, Comité Cívico.
Craig Parker with Cal Energy.
Sky Ainsworth.
And those of you on the phone.
PGA Air Resource Board. Lindsay Mendoza, Air Resource Board. Bautista Coalition for Clean Air. Richie Fox, State Region 9. Julie Lester, Environ. Henry David, Environ.
Patrick?
Sandy Johnson, Caltrans District 11, and with me, Rafael Ambrosio, Connie Cepeda.
Okay, we had a couple more people come in. Eric, you want to introduce you? Eric Reyes.
Arturo Gutierrez.
Thanks for coming. Okay, I think that's everyone. I think we're going to allow Julia to give her presentation first because she needs to get to another meeting. So, Julia, we're going to kick it off to you to talk about the PM10 SIP so far.
Sure, and if there's any questions, please just let me know. So we've been in the process over the last couple of months of developing the technical foundations of the PM10 SIP. And I want to let everybody know we recently had a three-agency meeting with the Air Resources Board, EPA, and Imperial County ICAPCD to discuss the technical information and some of the regulatory requirements that will be going into the PM10 SIP. And speaking for Environ, who is writing the SIP and conducting the technical analysis, that meeting was very productive and very helpful in establishing those things that where the technical information is been determined and is fixed and can go into the SIP, and those areas where additional work is still needs to be done before the SIP can be completed. What I want to walk everybody through is, I don't know, Brett, did you get a chance to send out, or Lizzie, to send out the draft of table of contents for the PM10 SIP?
No, I don't think everyone, we haven't had a chance to send that out because we just kind of between us just finished it off this morning. So.
Okay, so let me just walk through the elements then for everyone. Is the PM10 SIP in some ways is going to be structured very similarly to the Ozone SIP. And some of the key things that go into the SIP will be first a discussion of the regulatory and background information for the PM10 SIP. So discussion of Imperial County, the call to do the PM10 SIP, and the regulatory requirements. Then there'll be a discussion of the PM10 air quality. And in the SIP, that will be based on a discussion of the PM10 air quality for the last 3 full years, which will be 2005 through 2007. And in the discussion of that data, there will be discussion of the monitoring stations, the monitoring data that will be used. There are certain PM10 readings that fall into the category either of exceptional events because they're, say, a high wind event that occurs and that's been documented. It may also fall into the category of a transport exceedance where there's overwhelming transport from Mexico into Imperial County. And so there'll be a discussion of those PM10 levels and exceedances and whether or not they will be included in the SIP's attainment demonstration. Because under current policy, they can be excluded from a determination of the design value. For the exceedances that are exceptional events, And so that covers most of the information that you will see in the SIP on the ambient PM data, and that'll be the air quality section in the SIP. The next section in the SIP is the inventory. And the bulk of the inventory here, unlike in the ozone SIP, is these area sources, fugitive dust sources, including windblown dust. And that inventory is being finalized. We have worked with the Air Resources Board to analyze and incorporate the adjustments to the previous inventory that were described in the 2005 BACM analysis. There are still some final technical discussions on certain other categories that we are finishing with the Air Resources Board, but the emission inventory is close to being finalized. That will also be described in the PM10 SIP, and any adjustments being made will also be described in the SIP. And the parts that I just discussed right now comprise the first 3 chapters of the SIP. So Chapter 1 being the introduction and background, Chapter 2 being the PM10 air quality discussion, and Chapter 3 being the emission inventory. A draft of those 3 chapters is undergoing final review right now. A preliminary draft was shared with the Air Resources Board, and their staff got back to us with some comments and questions. Those comments are have been incorporated into those 3 chapters, and it is our intention to get those 3 chapters out to this working group this week after this meeting. And what we would ask is that the working group review those 3 chapters. If they have any questions or comments, to return those. Brad, who do you want them to give the comments to Reyes or to us?
They can send them to Reyes and Manuel.
I think that would be helpful for us. If there are comments, and in the cover email when we send it out, we'll indicate who to send the comments back to. Those 3 chapters are still in draft form. As we've indicated, there's a few small technical areas where we have either not completed the analysis or the review and discussion with the other agencies has not been completed. Those will simply be noted in the draft chapters that will be sent to you. Okay, the other parts of the PM10 SIP, the 3 sections we're just talking about right now, combined with the next section, which is a discussion of the control strategy. The control strategy, the current control strategy is the district's adopted regulations, including its Regulation 8 fugitive dust rules. And the control strategy and the BACM determination, which will rely heavily on the 2005 BACM determination, will be Chapter 4 of the PM10 SIP, and that is currently in internal draft form here.